Forbes India, CNBC-TV18 present India Inc. on the Move. Smart Manufacturing, powered by RockwellAutomation.
Hello and welcome to India Inc. on the Move Smart Manufacturing Summit, brought to you by Forbes India and CNBC-TV18 in partnership with Rockwell Automation. India is currently the world's fifth largest global destination in the retail space, and India's retail market is poised to touch $1.1 to $1.3 trillion by 2025. With the rapid growth in online buying by the Indian consumer, organizations are bound to look for multiple warehousing facilities to cater to these demands. One of the most crucial things the consumer looks is for accurate and prompt delivery. In order to keep up with this demand as well as manage the cost, it is becoming increasingly vital that future warehouses must develop into intelligent, efficient, and sustainable automated facilities. Digitization is quickly turning into a business need to establish and maintain a strong differentiation as well as increase operational efficiency. So today, we take this opportunity to delve into why smart and sustainable warehouses is the future in today's world and uncover the rising need for businesses to realign their priorities and explore and implement technological innovations. Today, we have with us Mr. Srinivas Garimela, who is the MD at Vega Conveyors and Automation, Mr. Raghu Krishnananda, who is the Chief Technology Officer at Myntra Jabong, Mr. Sriram Parmanand, who is the Director Partner at Rockwell Automation India, and Sunil Dabral, Senior Vice President and Business Head at Godrej Corber. Gentlemen, thanks a lot for joining us today and taking part into this important discussion. Mr. Krishnananda, let me come across to you first. How is e-commerce changing the future of warehouses according to you? Why is it crucial for manufacturing companies to streamline and optimize both data and material flows between logistics and production?
It's normal practice to set up control towers across the supply chain in e-commerce. And we collect a lot of data at these various control towers. And we use this data to continuously, optimize our network design and, our flows and improve our speed and efficiencies, right? Furthermore, we can actually collect this data in real time. And then this data is very valuable for our supply chain operations folks to be able to respond to any change in supply chain situation and blind spots and react in real time, right? Another important aspect of really using all this data is in coming up with an accurate promise. So it's important for us to stick to the promise that we make to our customers in terms of delivery timelines. And this promise, in fact, we use the data science models to come up with this promise. And a lot of factors go into estimating this promise, including, in real time, what the network situations or conditions are, the inventory levels, the location of, the customer and so on, which go into computing this promise accurately and sticking to it, right? In Myntra, we have a number of private labels, and the manufacturing of this is done through our partners. So one of the things that we do is transparently share our demand and our inventory situation with our manufacturing partners, and they can accordingly plan their own, production and material and resource planning. So this makes the entire, supply chain end-to-end seamless.
Well, let me go across to the next question, and this is for you, Mr. Sriram. After that, I'll ask the same question to Mr. Srinivas as well. How is the warehousing industry leveraging digital twin technology amid the new normal, according to you?
Just to give a background, I think warehouse operations have been seeing an increasing complexity, and they've moved a long way from being just a storage location. And there's a high need for flexible, high throughput, and compact material handling solutions. So in fact, as per a McKinsey report, the estimated global spend just on warehousing is expected to be something like $350 billion a year. And so where is all of this going? So there are various domains. So you could kind of split them down into e-commerce, into logistics, into retail, food, and grocery. And within them also, there are various use cases. So with this background, what we see is, it's quite an evolving thing, especially for OEMs. I think while there are constraints to work around, but there's a high growth of opportunities. But it also means that they have to design, they have to build and deploy solutions which are quite diverse and kind of custom. A recent survey actually on faster delivery, so it reported that sales increase approximately by 1.45% for every business day reduction in delivery times. So it all means that we need to be much faster and right the first time, and that's where probably digital twin makes a big impact. It helps build better systems, and you could keep rethinking and make it better while it is still on the soft way. There's another thing which it helps in, and that is, I like this phrase of commissioning with confidence. It's kind of put an end to the last minute surprises and changes. There are a few other aspects also. So if you look at some challenges which the warehousing industry faces, like workforce, so this could also help in sharpening operator skills. So it kind of increases their competency by training workers in a virtual environment. So all of these would be things which can be used through digital twin technologies. And just to round up, I would say that it also has an impact on the ESG score for a company, because the digital twin part helps in reducing, the waste, reducing emissions, and better resource management.
Mr. Srinivas, the same question for you. What do you think is the benefit of digital twin technology amidst the new normal after the pandemic?
Of all the technologies that we can harness, I presume the most transformational will be the adoption of digital twin technology. Warehouse operations are getting more complex, inventory is getting more diverse, lot many SKUs getting added that e-commerce has brought in, and customers now expect lightning fast fulfillment. Keeping a sense of all this, smart companies are now building digital twins of their warehouse operations and using them to manage complexities and improve the performance. The biggest advantage is visualization. Design of the warehouse has become easier and friendlier. With digital twins, companies can try out new floor plans and test new workflows virtually. They can introduce new variables and parameters to their operations and assess the impact of those. Every aspect of operations can be monitored and tweaked, including SKU mix, ordering and shipping, demand spikes. In short, warehouse performance can be improved far more quickly and with optimal cost than in the past. Digital twins also help businesses to adapt to changing requirements such as peaks, holiday peaks, buying pattern changes, equipment downtime changes. You can almost run hundreds of possible scenarios in minimal time in your warehouse, DC, as a warehouse manager or an owner, or even integrators like us. This will provide critical insights of an average performance over time, identifying areas to handle our short and long-term challenges. Having said all this, adoption of digital twin technology is still nascent and evolving and has not reached a tipping point yet.
I just wanted some perspective on how are IoT and AI transforming warehouses. That's the big talking point, right? Could you share some of your use cases as well here?
Computerized equipments in machines like robot, like AGVs, AMRs, ASRS systems, transport systems like conveyors, RGV, are the smart machines which can sense, collect data, process electronic signals, and use various softwares to assign and complete various tasks. While the artificial intelligence enhances the cognitive capabilities of computerized equipments by enabling them to make independent decisions, translate human languages, and recognize, let's say, speech and surrounding imageries. Artificial intelligence is gradually revolutionizing, let's say that they're trying to transform traditional warehouses into smart ecosystems that utilize advanced technology to automate warehouse operations. This helps to basically help them to proactively predict the performance of the workers, identify the challenges in the supply chain, and let's say reducing the turnaround of the entire order fulfillment process. Secondly, it also helps in basically improving the warehouse safety. How it does is basically there's certain risks involved in the processes. So human labors, they have their own limitations. So when basically we see that there are certain processes which involve certain kind of risk. So here you can basically deploy your manpower in such a way that they handle only those set of activities which involve low risk, and the medium to high kind of risk profiles. Those activities can be given to the robots or the machines, let's say AGVs and AMRs. So overall, in this way, you tend to collect a lot of data using the sensors on these computerized equipments, analyze the different types of warehouse activities, and draw certain patterns, which will basically help you to take better improvement steps in improving the overall performance of the warehouse.
Same question for you, Mr. Krishnananda. Give us some use cases. How is IoT and AI being used in warehouses? How is it changing the technology as a whole?
So again, we can use these technologies in multiple ways across in the warehouses. So for instance, so we have the pickers or our warehouse associates going on a picking route and picking the various items for an order. So we use algorithms to actually optimize the picking route of our warehouse associates to be able to maximize efficiency and productivity. Furthermore, we can actually use some sensors and actually find out the real-time location of these warehouse associates and dynamically generate these pick routes, right? So to further optimize. We use RFID technology, quite extensively in our warehouses. So this can be used to locate items accurately. So that is one use case. We also use this for more efficient master bagging, for shipping. So these are a couple of examples of how we can use IoT related technologies to bring about more efficiencies. We also use computer vision, another data science aspect, computer vision to do quality checks of our products, right? So yeah, we use IoT and AI quite extensively.
Advanced analytics such as predictive analytics, they are leveraged to improve forecasting and drive smarter decision making in the warehouse. Now, could you share a few examples of the applications of these advanced analytics that you are talking about?
AI-based machines and the software algorithms are continuously collecting and analyzing the data in real time and then comparing with the ideal scenarios, which helps to continuously improve the performance of the workers. Certain things like the route optimization, dynamic slotting, which keeps on changing as per the picking efficiency, or let's say that the volume which you are picking up for various reasons, then handling seasonality and peaks, and then basically based on those performance indicators, you can also have a dynamic labor deployment with the order picking patterns. Kober also employed this predictive analysis method to improve the performance of the, let's say, gripping process in the robotic gripper system. The first step was obviously to analyze what was the goal to be achieved. And then an algorithm was developed to automatically slot the data of the gripping process into three main categories. First was the gripper, when the gripper closes. Second was when gripper holds the item. And the third was that when gripper opens up so that the item which was held up can be dropped at the right place. So with this data collected, various hypotheses were formed, analyzed, and revised again and again. The final outcome was the gripping process became more and more smarter. It could predict the errors, hence the exact breakdown point was already known in advance before it even breaks down. It could even predict when a certain component would be worn out so that you can have that in the inventory in your inventory to replace it whenever there is a breakdown. So this will have minimal downtime. So in this way, predictive analysis, or let's say artificial intelligence, is basically helping companies to to basically improve the existing performance of their machineries and, let's say, human labor as well.
Mr. Sriram, the big talking point has been cyber threats, right? So, what is the necessity of secure network infrastructure in the warehouse industry? What best practices can be followed to manage cyber threats according to you?
So it's not possible to really stop these data breaches or cyber attacks altogether, but we should be trying to mitigate these risks as much as possible by incorporating cybersecurity systems, just as we would do for other forms of protection. So what it would mean is, we need to be identifying the critical assets and the risks and protect them from potential threats before they happen. If there is something which is happening, we should have an ability to be detecting these threats in real time. And once this is over, so typically the way it is put is before, at the time of attack, and after. So the third would be that we should have a plan for response and recovery should a threat be realized. So a key decision in all of this is companies should be, kind of selecting not just the technology part of it, but a suitable partner, a partner who has capabilities from consulting to implementation in this particular domain, and kind of have a proven track record in this battlefield. Again, there's a linkage to ESG. So cybersecurity and enterprise risk management, they fall under the pillar of governance. And so it is important for companies to be covering this particular part also very strongly from the scorecard of ESG that comes up for them.
I have the same question for you, Mr. Krishnananda. What do you think? What are the best practices that can be followed to manage cyber threats?
It's very important to secure the network and infrastructure of our warehouses. One is, we have various devices and terminals in the warehouses. So really restricting the hardware, the software, and the network access of these devices and terminals to the purpose for which it needs to serve, right? So that's pretty important, so that there is lesser chance of this getting misused. Secondly, segregation of network. So segregate your IT networks, your operations network, and your enterprise network, and then implement a zero trust, network architecture. So this further, tightens or improves the security posture of the entire network of the warehouses. Another way is to implement two-factor authentication. So this means that only the person who's authorized to access a system or use a system is able to, and he or she cannot have somebody else log in his or her behalf, right? And most importantly, we need to continuously educate our warehouse associates on the importance of security and the best practices and the do's and don'ts, so that they're aware of what's going on and what to do and what not to do.
Mr. Sriram, cloud-based warehouse management systems, they are one step closer now to turning the logistics and the warehousing industry smart. So could you briefly explain what are the benefits of a smart system in that case?
To meet the higher demands, the high availability and the performance, to avoid disruptions and downtime, it's important to have a smart, scalable maintenance management system. So if we are kind of using out-of-date systems to manage maintenance, we would kind of miss some key red flags which can lead to costly mistakes. So with advancement of technology, what we are seeing organizations do is, in investing in CMMS, or what it stands for is computerized maintenance management systems. So what it does is it allows effortlessly to collect, analyze, and act on maintenance data, track and optimize asset performance in one place. It's kind of empowered the maintenance teams across the world, and it not just saves on time, but also on real dollars. It allows for a strong authentication of all the users, of all the key people who are engaged in that activity. It keeps track of network security protocols and controls. Obviously, increases the awareness on security and current status of different assets and the needs for maintenance, and obviously helps in reducing the downtime and effectively managing And given the workforce related stuff, so you are moving from a person-based system to a system or a independent system which is able to take care of all of these aspects.
Mr. Srinivas, let me come across to you now. How are VR or say AR used to improve warehouse planning? What are the benefits of using VR and AR in warehouse management and the supply chain as well?
The process of making products reach our office, home from factories is more complex than all of us realize. Hence, making that process cost effective, fast, error free, as much as possible is the goal of any business. And this is where AR and VR are the key to revolutionize supply chain. AR improves the order picking process. Many companies in the Western world are already using AR to make the order picking process faster and less prone to error. By using smart glasses, employees can see exactly where items could fit in the carts while they're picking orders. VR and AR can be used for predictive modeling as well. Most large companies have manufacturing facilities, DCs, and warehouses spread across the country. At any given time, managers may not be at site, but by using any number of virtual reality or augmented reality tools, these managers can get a real-time look at any site at any point of time to ensure that processes are running as planned. And importantly, VR and AR improves secure delivery options. When packages are delivered to a specific person nowadays, the current method is to verify identity, collect the Aadhaar card or the signature. But with customer cooperation, VR can be made much more secure. The delivery boy just scans the receiver's face, and the VR and the facial recognition technology can be used to match the customer's face with the picture and database. This is a much more secure alternative to using IDs or signatures, both of which can be otherwise forged. So VR and AR are again transformational tools that warehouse managers, warehouse owners, and system integrators are adopting nowadays.
Warehouses are important. They have a significant role to play in making the global economy sustainable. How can Industry 4.0 help in building smart and sustainable warehouses?
We've already spoken about some of the 4.0 technologies that are sweeping the warehouse, such as VR and IR. And we'll speak on a few more which are slowly gaining traction. One is a cyber physical system, which is CPS. CPS integrates computational intelligence and devices, enabling interaction between systems and humans. CPS would continuously keep getting better and better with the use of AI. And in the future, the level of CPS installation or usage will determine the successful implementation of Industry 4.0. Of course, all of us know about big data analytics. That is, gives you the analytical capability to process large, voluminous, dynamic data with high velocity, high complexity, and high variety. The strategies and operations of a company or a system can be continuously evaluated through this massive data analytics and gives you critical insights on how to do better planning and decision making. The third one I will talk about is AI and ML. All of us are aware of it. It's come in big way in warehouse management already. And those are on the back end. But if you look at the front end, we have this autonomous robots getting more and more ubiquitous. Autonomous robots are highly intelligent and capable of self-organization, self-evaluation, decision making on its own for executing several tasks without human instructions. Then we on the back end, we also have additive manufacturing, which are sometimes called 3D printing. These are a few that cutting edge technologies that Industry 4.0 has brought in warehouse management and are getting more and more popular and gaining traction. I'm sure we'll see more of it being used even in countries like India.
Okay, gentlemen, thanks a lot for joining us today on this interesting discussion. We had some really helpful insights, and thanks a lot for joining us to the viewers as well.
Forbes India, CNBC-TV18 present India Inc. on the Move. Smart Manufacturing, powered by Rockwell Automation.